Greetings, everybody. Lady Mariah.
And Matt Wonko here.
Today we are talking about the video we watched, and since I chose it, I'm going to lead it. We watched Hayao Miyazaki's Lady Mononoke.
Yeah, what she said.
Princess Mononoke.
Yes.
And
Princess Mononoke. It was a movie.
So,
here we go. 10-question review.
Question number 1. Did I like it? Yes.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
I like that. Question number 2. Main character. Yes.
No.
No?
The main character had no clue what side he was on. He was trying to be on every side, and he sucked at being on all the sides. He had no, established relationships with any character that made sense. And there was, I don't know what the point of his character was.
He was peaceful.
And he failed.
Granted, people died because of him, but he was peaceful in his views.
He didn't establish his views at all. He just opposed what everybody was doing. And it felt more rebellious teenager than a hero. So, no, he's not getting a hero vote from me.
How about villains? What did you think on that?
What villain?
Exactly. That's, if you look at the interview of some of the cast, that's what Hayao Miyazaki wanted to do with this film, was to create a world where it's just people doing what they think is right. There is no main villain because this is their world and this is what people are believing in and what, the Force spirit wants.
I understand where he's going, and that decision as a writer made a wishy-washy hero, and every single person, there was nobody who could consistently be a villain. Unless you're counting Chaos, and Chaos had a horrible stage presence in this movie, so no. It's 1 for 3 from me. What was your vote on it?
There's not really a villain, so no.
Okay. It's 2 for 3 for you.
Okay, secondary characters.
I like the secondary characters.
Good.
There was a good. They had a wide range of secondary characters. A lot of very deciding things. I particularly liked. There's this awesome book called Donnerjack that I need to get a copy of, and it had this kind of similar Spirits of the Forest thing, and so that was harked me a couple bits to that, and I really liked that book, and there were similar parts. A lot of those secondary characters, while they weren't horribly explored, were still pretty good. I kind of feel that this movie would have made a better TV show.
Ooh.
Where each episode, where each episode would have a villain, and it would break down because the first episode would be him fighting the thing at the beginning, the second episode would be his travels where he meets the monk for the first time, third episode is where he where they meet the wolves, fourth episode is where he comes to Irontown and they have to fight against monkey peoples, fifth time is when he's still at Irontown and the wolves come. Sixth time, because that was a 2-parter, he leaves with the wolves and goes to the forest. Seventh time...
You're on 8.
6. I'm trying to count with my fingers.
You've said 6 3 times.
Okay. It's fine. Then he goes to the forest, gets healed up, talks to the forest spirit, so the forest spirit has, lines. I kind of thought the spirits weren't going to have lines, and they were just, mindless creatures with, purpose. But then they had lines and... characteristics that they could have revealed earlier.
That's the thing with the main forest spirit, is he is life and death, and so
you have 2 actors play him. It's, I'm fine. I understand the concept of a vague super god that is outside of purview and you don't get to interact with it at all.
Okay. Which
is 100% fine until you chop its head off as part of the plot, and that doesn't work.
Okay.
If you're going to make that character, anyway, you could break up this movie into a 13-episode anime fairly easily, where each of these interactions would be expanded. Like the one person who attacked Irontown I didn't, other than the people on the colorful horses, didn't see anything about them at all.
Yeah.
And, they could have, there's a lot in it that could have been expanded.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, it felt kind of like how I feel about Ender's Game, which was a work that was too long, that was shrunk down and tried to fit into a time slot that wouldn't have worked for it. Like, for instance, they could have cut out the monkey people, and no one would have cared, and they could have saved, 10 minutes of being able to, explore other characters.
True, but then you wouldn't get to see more of this world he has of...
Oh, no, I understand that. It is a decision, being able to see some of the world, but, maybe, I don't know, they could have met other spirits or something.
Well,
because spirits apparently only exist in this one forest.
There was some in the forest that the boar god came from.
The boar god came from that forest.
No, the other one, the blind one, Akoto.
The boar god came from that forest.
He watched it. I've watched it 7 times.
It was a large forest that's been burning, and so there's a different district inside of that super healing spirits forest.
Maybe, but that's not the gist I got from how the boar came. It sounded like the boar came further from the west.
Yes, because further to the west is Irontown.
No. Next question. Plot.
Hold on. Secondary characters, yes.
Yes.
So they're 2 for 4 from me. Okay. Plot. We just went over a bunch of the plot. I think a lot of this plot had to do with the hero's arc, which there wasn't one. A lot of it was, I don't really understand what these characters' motivations are. I don't know where it's going. I don't know why people are doing things. I hadn't heard of these legends that they're trying to do. And there was points in it where I'm watching them and I'm thinking, okay, I don't know, the plot has not explained to me how the hero's going to win at this point. Therefore, he's got some weird, cool powers that are going to do a thing, and it's going to be, just a suddenly, Deus Ex Machina, off of his previous power set. And then, it went anime weird. Thumbs down on plot for me.
The way I'm viewing the plot is main character got cursed. He was going to undo the curse. He succeeded in that. I say there was plot.
Okay. That's, okay. I can see where you're coming from. Yes, I will give you that it does have inklings of some plot, but as plot goes, it was not great plot.
It was not the plottiest plot in the plot.
There were 2 different civilizations. You had all these, forest spirits going on, and you had all of these human things going on, and there could have been a lot of intrigue going on, and there wasn't.
Okay. I'm saying yes. He's saying no.
I am definitely saying no.
Okay, resolution?
Plus, thumbs up on the resolution. I think if they had defined the character roles more, I don't think, under American style plot and resolution, it doesn't really work. But as a resolution to just everything that's going on, I think it did. Yeah. A lot of characters who were evil to some extent started doing good things to some extent, became better, moved forward on their path. One character who, was the main root of all evil didn't have anything bad happen to him.
That we know.
Okay.
Okay,
Is there expanded universe?
I'm done. No.
Is there, written universe? Are there manga for this? Is there an animated series? Is there, the creator's notes about what happens later?
I don't know. I just watched the movie.
If you don't know and you haven't bothered to find out, then the world starts and ends with what's on screen, in which case nothing bad happened to him, even though he caused the death of 2,000 people. For greed reasons.
Oh yes, greed.
It wasn't even honor or family or something. He wanted a mountain of gold.
Iron.
No, he wanted a mountain of gold.
Oh.
That's what the emperor promised him.
You're talking about the monk?
I am talking about the monk.
Oh.
Who did you think I was talking about?
Lord Asano.
Which one was that?
The guy who ordered the samurais to kill everyone. And keep killing until he could get the Iron Town.
Yeah. No. That was part of the monk's plot. I don't know if you noticed that.
Next.
I'm giving it an extra -1 for plot. Because the person who supposedly liked the plot didn't even notice plot elements. Because there was too much going on and it wasn't laid out clearly.
Okay.
Resolution, thumbs up. Even though a lot of characters didn't get their comeuppance, main character did have his curse apparently healed. I don't know, they didn't explain it. There was a lot of things where they just kind of like, okay, next. And they didn't explain what had happened previously to like resolve things. So a lot of that I'm not totally happy about, but I'm willing to give it a thumbs up for resolution.
I liked it.
Okay.
Dialogue.
Dialogue? This one's a bit iffy. I think that, it's... The problem with this for dialogue is that it's dubbed.
True.
So it was written in one way, and then it was translated, and then re-recorded, and then rewritten a little bit, because that's how you dub things, and then recorded. And so a lot of what the original author's intent was for dialogue and stuff kind of, fell away from its, original stuff. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna give it an okay. Nothing about the dialogue really caught me off guard. Didn't really bother me. Let's see here. So, and I'll be honest, I was not taking it as a serious movie experience. I was riffing the heck out of this thing. It was pretty fun to riff.
And he got me going. It was bad.
That's because riffing's in your blood.
I'm cursed, just like Ashitaka.
Who?
The main character.
That brings up one of my points. Other than, like, a person named Mononoke, I didn't know any characters' names. And, when you're dubbing a thing, you kind of have to, like, if you want names to be important, you either have to rewrite things so that their name becomes part of the important, maybe simplify their names a little bit, but for the most part, I know them as that one guy, the
Ashitaka,
monk, the second-in-command guy,
guy.
I don't know any names.
I know half of the names.
And you've watched it 7 times. You know what that means? You have to watch it 7 more times to achieve 75%. That's how math works.
Next.
Dialogue, yeah, we're
I liked
good
it.
enough.
I yelled one of the curses in class to, yell at someone. It was great.
Okay. Next is proper emotional response. As I said, we were riffing the movie, and that changes how you feel about it. But, I think it was a pretty decent movie,
Just as a note, he did stop riffing it at the end where, everything's going down. He did stop what he was doing and take
because I was trying to figure out what was happening.
So he says.
You can't riff action movies horribly well because there's a lot of stuff going on. But I digress. Proper emotional response? Yeah, sure. Why not? Yep. Immersion maintained? I'm going to say no.
No?
No.
It did kind of jump
What was,
around.
like, the one big thing that I was like, you can't do that. That doesn't work. Tell me. What was the one big thing that I brought up, like, constantly?
Hold on. I think you've only brought it up twice.
I brought it up, like, 5 or 6 times in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Okay. When, an arrow chops off someone's head or arm.
He decapitates people with an arrow. That doesn't work.
He's tried.
If it was, like, an explosive arrow and you were, like, entirely destroying the head, or if you were, like, passing through the entirety of the head, I could understand. But when you hit somebody, like, here, it does not chop off the whole thing. Like, I will allow, under the premise of the physics of this universe, I will allow the spirits and I will allow the demons that give him super strength. I'm fine with this. Super strength does not mean projectile decapitation. if he was, I don't know, throwing that, like, fancy dinner bowl that was, like, important, apparently, and, you know, only showed up twice, that would be fine.
It was just a bowl.
I would allow him to decapitate people with a rice bowl. If he was throwing his little knife, that crystal knife, that, you know, was like, oh, here, it's important, take this, and shows up once more on camera.
Twice. She stabs him with it.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mononoke stabs him with it.
Yeah. In a manga, it would, like, jump. The camera would jump to her hand without actually changing any time, so you could tell it was the knife. I couldn't tell because of how he didn't react, because he's a horrible character. I thought she had just pounded him with a fist.
She stabbed a knife into him.
Uh-huh. Immersion maintained? No. None. The wolves didn't eat the deer. There was a lot that broke my immersion here. Yes. And that's where I'm putting that.
Would you watch it again?
Would I watch it again? Yes. Yes, I would. Would I watch it without riffing it? No. Never. You can't make me. Let's see. Where did my count go? I think I had counted 5. I like it, yes. Secondary characters, yes. Resolution, yes. Dialogue, emotional response, watch it again. 6. 6 out of 10 is my score.
I think I said no to the villains. I think there was one other.
You didn't answer a couple of the questions on camera.
I did a thumbs up.
Oh, okay.
And like a head nod.
Okay. So you're giving it a 9 out of 10?
Yeah, I'll say 9 out of 10. I love this movie.
Okay.
Which is why I was glad he watched it.
I thought you thumbed down his plot.
I think I might have switched it. I don't know. It was either an 8 or 9.
Wait, you hold on. This is math and statistics. You can't give a vague, fuzzy number. Fuzzy numbers are why the hard system that we're using here was created. Plot, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. 9 out of 10 from you, 6 out of 10 from me, averages to 7.5 out of 10 between the two of us. Please, down in the comments below, tell us if you've seen Princess Mononoke and what rating you would give it under the system. And, hey, if you have any videos that you would like to recommend that we watch, please leave that down below. It was fun to watch. It was. You know, and... It was
fun watching with him, having him throw out a random, ha! This is that! Riffing, and it's like, wow! Stop ruining it! Ha! That was funny. Because, you know, funny. But it was good. Thank you guys for watching this video.
Yep. Please, you know, comments down below. I like comments. We like comments.
Comments are good.
So, yeah.
So, thank you guys, and we will see you next time.
Stay online.
Peace out.